Hey everybody, it's Christine Parma. I am back with you guys live again for a practical business training designed to help you live an amazing life and have an amazing business you love. If you don't know who I am Christine Parma, like I just said, and you can find me at christineparma.com, and I help ambitious mama CEOs, mamapreneurs. If you want to call yourself superwoman, I believe you are, but I help amazing, ambitious moms create the businesses they love and profitable businesses they love by showing them how to create the time and the systems they need to rock their business, not miss out on precious time with their families, and also just feel good about who they are as a mom. Because I believe you shouldn't have to choose between the ones you love and doing the work you love. So I am here today to talk about overwhelm. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Yes, we all feel overwhelmed sometimes. I feel overwhelmed sometimes. But here's the trick. You don't want to stay stuck in the overwhelm. So today I'm sharing with you practical business strategies, or just practical strategies on how to quickly move out of that overwhelm, have less of it in your life so that you can make the time for your business and your babies too, because that's what it's about. It's about having, the magical life balance between business and your family. And I want your business to work for your family too. So if you have a comment while I am talking about this topic, please type it in the comments. I can feature your comment now that I'm using BeLive TV. It's awesome. If you're doing live stream, you've got to be on BeLive TV. And if you like it, tell me that you like it. Say, yes, this is totally tracking for me. And if you really like it, share it. Who in your life or in your circle can relate to this? Who needs to hear this message today? So I'm going to dive right in with the first step. The first step, and I'm going to refer to my notes because I always bring it when I do the training so that they're value-packed and totally worth your time. The first step is schedule in your non-negotiables. Now, I know you've heard this before, right? It's Stephen Covey's schedule in the big rocks so that you have time, for those things that matter most to you. But how many of you are actually doing it, right? So this takes getting really clear about what's truly important to you. What are your non-negotiables? If you share with me one of your non-negotiables, if you feel like doing it in the comments, please comment below and tell me what's one of your non-negotiables. Is it spending time with your family? How much makes you feel good? How schedule that into your calendar. Is it self-care so that you can be at the top of your game, both in business and for your family, and you can just relax for a moment, right? As moms who are also have businesses don't necessarily have a lot of time to relax. We don't have time to relax unless we schedule it in. That's usually how it is with me anyway. What about your spiritual or religious practices? And sleep. I mean, that's usually the first thing to go, right? We think, oh my gosh, there aren't enough hours in the day. Well, let's see, how can I squeeze more in? I'm just going to cut back on my sleep. I know, guilty of it too sometimes. But, there's a point, at least for me, when I reach that I'm just like, nope, sleep, it's got to be a bigger priority. I kind of slip there on that, that non-negotiable and that boundaries. I've got to get more of it so that I can be my best self, in my business and also for my family. And I'm not snapping at the kids so much, right? So what are your non-negotiables? Schedule that into your calendar, put it in. The next step is to look at what remains, and I'm truly saying, write the non-negotiables in your calendar and then look at, okay, well, what's left here? How much time is left for me to spend on my business, for me to spend running the household, for me to use doing all of the other things that life and running your own business requires. And you want to, what I think is very practical is you want to, if you think you have, say, 60 hours left in the week or 20 hours left in the week, whatever it is, take away 7 hours because unexpected things come up. And it's just, you're going to, when you're, especially if you're first starting off using these strategies, there's going to be there needs to be some wiggle room. So you don't end up feeling bad that you didn't follow through on what you said was really, truly important to you. And so that you can continue to work this, it's really kind of a productivity hack, right? So take away 7 hours. And remember that, the goal here is not to squeeze a huge amount of stuff into the most amount of time, so much that you feel like you're in overdrive all the time and you feel like you're overwhelmed and you're go, 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 and you're burning the candle at both ends, because that will lead you quickly to burnout. And if you're listening to this and you can relate to feeling overwhelmed, you can probably also relate to feeling burned out. And there's probably times that you feel burned out. And then what happens when you feel burned out? You crash. And then it actually takes up more time. You lose more, quote, lose more time having to recover from that than you would have if you had just managed your energy and your time a little better. So again, these are practical business strategies and practical time management strategies you can put in place really easily to free up, really have a sense of freedom around your time, because you're consciously choosing on how you spend your time. So the third step is, if you're in business for yourself, what are your work hours going to be? There have to be some boundaries around your work hours, because I'll tell you what, if there aren't boundaries around your work hours, then it can start to bleed into everything, right? The self-care goes out the window. You're all of a sudden you're working when you're supposed to be spending time with your kids, and then you feel guilty about that, right? I want to help you kick mom guilt to the curb so that you don't feel guilty about when you're working in your business, and you don't have your mind on business when you're supposed to be spending time with your kids and you feel guilty about that because you're not totally present. So make sure that you set boundaries around your work time so that you can be productive during that time, but it doesn't take over everything in your life. I've been there. I speak from experience. That's not the best road to go down. And I hope you're not going down that road. If you are, you can get back on track pretty easily using these steps. So what are your work hours going to be? The fourth step is, when you've kind of blocked your time, you've scheduled in your non-negotiables, you've decided what's really, important to you. Those are your non-negotiables. You've looked at what kind of time remains in your schedule, and you've set boundaries around your work time. Well, so now you look at your to-do list. And here's the hardest step. At least it's been the hardest step for me in some ways. It's time to prune, choppity chop chop, prune your to-do list. Because if you don't prune your to-do list, what you're going to have this feeling is that you've now put all these priorities, these non-negotiables into your schedule, and you have no time left to do all of the millions of things on your to-do list. The point is, the millions of things that are on your to-do list, you probably don't need to be doing all of them. So it's time to prune, delete, or delegate. So you really need to take a critical eye to your to-do list and ask yourself, what can I just simply not do? When I was making the transition to being a full-time mom into launching my own brand and having my own business, which you can find out more about at christineparma.com, I had been doing all of these, Pinterest perfect mom things, right? I'd been making the organic baby food. I had, from the vegetables that were grown in our organic garden, which I love gardening, so I still love to do that. But I was doing all of these things, and the house was really clean, usually, for the most part. I was taking the kids to all of these extracurricular activities, trying to fill up, the time and be the best mom and make sure that they're going to be smart kids and they have a great start in life and all that stuff. And then you do all that, and that takes up your whole time, usually, when you're a full-time mom. And then you try and add starting a business on top of it. It just doesn't work. I mean, the truth is, time is finite. You know that. I know you know that. And it's your most precious resource. And that's why you have to really be conscious about how you use it. So the reality is, some people will say, you can have it all. You can have a business you love. You can, be a great mom. You can be the perfect mom still. Yes and no. You, I think, can feel great about the mom you are, and you can do great in your business. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be doing all of the things you did as a mom or as a wife, all these things you did for your family or yourself before you had a business, and do all of those same things and still have a business. That's amazing. There may be a few people out there that are doing it. I know definitely some people are presenting themselves that way because, it's more about the appearance of having it all. But really, what is having it all? I want to digress for a second. What does having it all mean? For me, having it all means that you feel good about where you are in your life. You feel good about the mom you are. You feel good about your business. You feel great about the clients you work. And the bottom line is that you're happy, right? Because having it all to you, I'm sure means something different than having it all to me or some other person, right? We all have our own personal definitions of what having it all means. So at the end of the day, it's about making your schedule and how you do your life and how you do your business work for you, and so that you can feel great about it. So that's what these strategies that I'm giving you are designed to do. So back to the pruning of the to-do list. You really have to look at, are all of these things on my to-do list priority for me? Are all of these things on my to-do list things that I still want to be doing? Or if I'm PTA president, can I, not sign up to do the next, year as PTA president? Or maybe even, I don't have any joy in that anymore. I don't have any passion. My passion now is, really getting my message and my business out there and helping my clients. And that takes priority over being PTA president. And maybe it's time to gracefully hand over the roles and responsibilities to someone else. So you have to look at, can some things just totally go? Or can some things be delegated? If you're a mom and you're doing it all, you're wearing the 1,000 hats, as a mom and a business owner. Grocery shopping, I personally find it kind of therapeutic to browse through the grocery store and pick my own groceries and that sort of thing. But when I'm looking at where I can best spend my time, that is not where I can best spend my time. Maybe I'll do that on occasion, but grocery delivery, hallelujah for grocery delivery. And they usually do a great job. I use delivery services for a lot of things now because it takes too much time for me to get to the grocery store, go through and pick out the groceries, check out, all of that stuff. Same for dry cleaning, house cleaning. You've got to look at what are things you can delegate that are low value to your family, to you personally, and to your business. Those low value, it can be higher priority, but low dollar value activities, you really need to consider delegating them, outsourcing them, or just stop doing them altogether if that's something you can do. Is this resonating with you guys? Say yes, yes in the comments if it's resonating, or just hit 1 if it's resonating with you. Also, just on the side note here, if you want a list of, thank you for the likes, if you want a list of business activities that are actually high priority for you to be doing in your business, for you to grow your business quickly and grow it to 6 figures and beyond, I've put it all together for you in a magical checklist called the 6-Figure Business Checklist. And I can send it to you if you want it. Just type the number 6 in the comments below, and I will get you out that link. You'll get a little message in your Facebook Messenger app with the link to the checklist for you. So please take advantage of that, because the reality is so many people are spending time on the wrong business activities. And that's one of the reasons your to-do list is so bloated, because you're trying to pack all of these things in. Hi, Chris, and thank you so much for being on. So you've got to prune, cut down on the low value activities in your business and in your personal life so that you can make room for spending more time with your family, for taking care of yourself, and actually doing the business activities that matter most in your business. Thank you for the likes. So the final step is when you've kind of pruned your list and you've pruned out the low value activities, and you are now focusing on the high value activities, the marketing, and essentially it's marketing and promotion and sales activities. Promotion, putting yourself out there like I'm doing right now, that's a high value activity that you can't delegate to someone else if you are your own brand. Now, if you're not your own brand, if you're selling a product, something like that, then maybe you can delegate, live streaming or product demos, something like that to somebody else. But if you're your own brand, there are certain things you can and should not be delegating to other people. One is promotional activities that feature you so that your audience can get to know, like, and trust you. So you need to be doing those kinds of things for yourself. And when you look at your calendar, when you look at your schedule, those are the big business rocks that go in first. Those are the things you should be doing more of so that you can connect with the people who are looking for you, because there are people who are looking for you who need what you have to offer and want what you have to offer, and people will resonate with you instead of some other person out there or some other guru out there. I truly believe that we are all meant to serve particular people in our lives, and it's our duty to step up and put ourselves out there so that they can find us. If you're hiding behind your computer, if you're hiding behind your website, if you're doing all of these, administrative and clerical activities that don't put you out there so people can find you, then actually you're kind of not holding up your end of the bargain, right? If you're serious about being in business for yourself and serious about making an impact with the work that you do, then you have to hold up your end of the bargain and put yourself out there and offer your programs and services, offer your opt-ins, offer your freebies, offer your free trainings, on Facebook Live, like I'm doing, if that's something that resonates with you, or do it in a way that makes sense and feels good to you. Thank you for all the hearts and likes. I really appreciate it. So after that, what's the final step? So now you've got your calendar and your to-do list in a state that will actually work for you and be productive. You've scheduled in your non-negotiables. You've pruned your to-do list down to the high value activities. Hopefully you're delegating the low value activities. Start small if you have to. If you don't have a big budget, start small. Even if it's doing a childcare share with a neighbor or a friend so that you can get a few more hours to yourself to work on your business, or take care of yourself, get a massage, something like that. Then start off where you can, where it's possible for you. And just side note, I am working on putting together a resource list of affordable outsourcing, good places to find affordable business, I guess, like VAs, for example, mama CEOs can tap into to start delegating some business tasks in their business. So I'm putting that resource together, and I will have it out probably in about 30 days or so, because I'm doing the due diligence on the people that I'm recommending. So I'll have that for you guys soon. But do it. You've got to, the next step, the final step is you've got to take action, right? And then you've got to work the plan. There's that saying, you've got to work the plan for the plan to work for you. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. So you've got to actually do it, right? And that is the delegation piece, I will be honest, was a huge stopping point, blockage point for me for a long time. Because what it comes down to is when you're delegating tasks to other people, what are the fears that run through your mind? I know you've thought about these too, that the person that you're delegating to won't do as good of a job as you. And you know what? They might not. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be perfect to get done. as long as they don't totally screw it up, then done is often better than perfect. You know what? And there's really no perfect, right? There really is no perfect. So done is better than perfect. That's a mantra you should have for your business and your life also, especially your business and getting yourself out there. And giving up control. For me, it was about giving up, some control in my business and my life and trusting other people. That was a huge one for me to get over. But I reached the point where I knew that if I didn't start delegating more and more and more, then that was really, that was going to hold me back in what I could do in my business and what I could do in my life. And it became priority for me. So I'm doing it, right? I'm doing it, delegating. So that's why I can talk to you guys about this, because when you delegate, it's like magic. You get over the first hump, and I'm going to create a resource for you guys that makes it easier for you. But you get over that first hump, and then it's things are a lot easier because you've got a team. You've got a person that's helping you out. Thank you so much for the heart and likes. And again, if you want the checklist, the six-figure business checklist that tells you where you should be focusing your time, where you should be focusing your efforts for the biggest return on your investment of time and efforts and money often, then you can get the link to download the checklist by simply typing the number 6 in the comments below. So I would love to hear your comments, and I'm gonna issue this challenge to you right now, and I'd love for you guys to type it in the comments below. What is the first thing that you are going to either stop doing entirely, chop it out of your to-do list, or you're going to delegate to someone else so that you can get out of overwhelm? Take that first step to getting out of overwhelm so that you can make the time for your business and your babies and feel great about both. Type it in the comments below. What is the first thing that you're going to delete, stop doing, or delegate? I would love to hear what it is. I'm going to tell you one thing I'm going to stop doing, or stop doing as much of, actually, what I'm going to actually delegate, because it is delegating. I am going to be delegating scheduling of my social media. Time drain, totally a time drain, right? You know it, I know it, done with it. So I'm going to be delegating that. So it has been a pleasure helping, being on this training and giving you some tips to help you kick overwhelm to the curb. I am Christine Parma. You can find out more about me at christineparma.com. If you're catching me on the replay, leave your comments below, leave your questions below, and I will pop back on personally and answer them for you. So thank you so much for being on, and I wish you amazing success in your business and life. And until Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will be back here doing another training for you, I wish you a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.